L-Dopa or levodopa is an amino acid analog belonging to the class of catecholamine compounds. It is a precursor of dopamine, DP, and norepinephrine that act as neurotransmitters in brain areas related to psychomotor and emotional functions. L-Dopa is currently considered the most effective oral dopaminergic treatment for the main motor symptoms of Parkinson's disease. This latter is the most widespread neurodegenerative movement disorder in the world. Parkinson's disease arises when the substantia nigra neuronal cells die and cannot biosynthesize dopamine, a fundamental neurotransmitter, as it plays an essential role in physiological motor control. The symptoms of Parkinson's disease can be kept under control with strategies to replace or improve dopamine. The L-Dopa pharmacological treatment is based on its replacement for dopamine to increase its bioavailability at the peripheral synaptic level, where the L-Dopa is decarboxylated to dopamine because of the aromatic amino acid decarboxylase, AADC enzyme. The dopamine drug is chemically synthesized through a process that requires a costly metal catalyst and advanced technologies. William S. Knowles, a scientist working at Monsanto, aimed to develop an industrial synthesis of the amino acid L-Dopa, which had proved useful in the treatment of Parkinson's disease, a discovery for which A. Carlson was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 2000. By testing enantiomers of phosphines with a varied structure, Knowles and his colleagues quickly succeeded in producing usable catalysts that provided a high enantiomeric excess, that is, principally L-Dopa. The ligand later used in Monsanto's industrial synthesis of L-Dopa was the diphosphine ligand dipamp. A rhodium complex with this ligand gave a mixture of the enantiomers of dopa in 100% yield. The product contained of 97.5% L-Dopa. Thus, Knowles had, in a short time, succeeded in creating an industrial synthesis of a drug. This was the first catalytic asymmetric synthesis. It has been succeeded by many others. In 2001, William S. Knowles, Ryoji Noyori, and K. Barry Sharpless were awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for their development of catalytic asymmetric synthesis. There are also natural sources, and the production of L-Dopa from different plants has advantages compared to chemical methods, such as a pure enantiomerically compound and a low-cost approach. L-Dopa from natural sources also reduces the secondary effects and helps slow the disease's progression. Some plants belonging to the Fabaceae family naturally contain significant amounts of L-Dopa. Among these, the genus Mucuna includes the highest concentration of L-Dopa, which explains its widespread use in the management of Parkinson's disease. The Mucuna pruriens is the most considered, containing up to 10% of L-Dopa in its seeds. L-Dopa's low molecular weight and polar nature generally make its determination by reversed phase liquid chromatography challenging. A possible solution is to use an ion pair reagent to increase retention time. In general, it is necessary to work below the pKa of the compound, where it will be protonated and not charged, and to decrease the organic content of the mobile phase. In addition, L-Dopa aqueous solutions are unstable and degrade naturally over time, so the extraction procedure also requires special attention. L-Dopa structure is characterized by the catechol moiety bonded to the amino acid functionality in meta and para positions to the hydroxyl groups in positions 3 and 4, respectively. L-Dopa has 3 ionizable groups. When the pH value is on average between pKa1 equals 2.3 and pKa2 equals 8.11, L-Dopa is present as a zwitterion that forms a network of intermolecular bonds where the protonated amine groups and the deprotonated carboxylic acid groups are linked. For this reason, L-Dopa is not very soluble in this pH range. L-Dopa solubility in water is 3.3 grams per liter, and acids are required to prepare aqueous solutions. This point is especially crucial regarding L-Dopa pharmacological bioavailability along the gastrointestinal lumen as well. Plants produce hundreds of non-protein amino acids, among which L-Dopa, a secondary metabolite belonging to the class of catecholamines. Metabolism refers to the whole regulatory aspects implied in the biosynthesis of functional compounds, generally called metabolites. Metabolism in plants can be primary or secondary. Primary metabolism generates all the essential compounds for the organism's growth, primary metabolites. Secondary metabolism produces all compounds that are considered not essential for the organism's growth, secondary metabolites, but are equally important since directly involved in the interaction with the external environment. Among catecholamines, norepinephrine, epinephrine, dopamine, and norepinephrine are other secondary metabolites. Extraction from natural products is nowadays considered the method of choice for providing L-Dopa over chemical synthesis, which is time-consuming, requires expensive and harmful chemicals, and generates a racemic mixture of L-Dopa. This justifies the growing interest in developing an extraction protocol to ensure L-Dopa recoveries are as high as possible, to remove interfering endogenous compounds, and to be quick, easy, and cheap. In a general workflow, analytes are extracted directly from the plant matrices after undergoing simple pre-treatment steps, consisting of homogenization and freeze-drying. Homogenization, in particular, was found to be effective in increasing L-Dopa concentration in extracts from mucuna pruriens seeds with respect to the extract obtained without any preconditioning. Typical steps within food sample preparation after pre-treatment and extraction generally include cleanup and concentration. For samples containing low levels of L-Dopa, like biological ones, pre-concentration and solid phase extraction are essential to guarantee the minimum levels for analyte detection and quantification. On the other hand, plant samples mainly involved in L-Dopa extraction studies, for example, different varieties of mucuna pruriens seeds and Vicia faba broad beans, are rich in this analyte. To get an idea of the L-Dopa content in plants, an average concentration of 4.96 and 4.39 gram per 100 grams was estimated respectively in white and black varieties of mucuna pruriens seeds, whereas an average concentration of 7.68 milligrams per gram dry weight was found in Vicia faba seeds. The extraction techniques used for L-Dopa range from the traditional liquid-solid extraction, LSE, Sox-Schlet extraction, maceration extraction, and reflux extraction to the latest and less used microwave-assisted extraction, MAE, and ultrasound-assisted extraction, UAE. The last two techniques involve substantial improvements in terms of automation and solvent consumption, so as to be referred to as green techniques. Regardless of the particular extraction technique used, in all cases, the transferring of L-Dopa from the solid plant matrix into the extracting liquid phase was found to be highly dependent on the pH. The extracting solutions used are all acidic to inhibit the L-Dopa oxidation process and avoid the formation of its zwitterionic form, which is poorly soluble. Controversies arise about the appropriateness of using solutions slightly acidified with acetic/formic acid, or strongly acidified with hydrochloric/perchloric acid. The use of mineral or concentrated organic acids for L-Dopa extraction is surely efficient, but it is limited by the requirement of costly and energy-demanding downstream processes. The potential degradation of L-Dopa in a strongly acidic environment is also to be considered. Acids of moderate strength meet the need to find more sustainable solvents, even if they could be less efficient in preserving L-Dopa stability towards oxidation or formation of aggregated structures. While the pH strongly influences the extraction yield, on the other hand, the sample ionic strength does not seem to affect the extraction process. IUPAC defines the salting out effect as the addition of particular electrolytes to an aqueous phase to increase the distribution ratio of a particular solute. It is usually exploited to improve the extraction efficiency, as it generally occurs for solid phase microextraction, SPME. But in the case of L-Dopa extraction from plant matrices, it seemed to play no role. In the last 20 years, some progress has been made in developing sensitive and selective extraction and detection methods for the unambiguous identification of L-Dopa in plant matrices, mainly Vicia faba and Mucuna pruriens seeds and green parts. However, one major difficulty in L-Dopa determination is quantitatively extracting the compound of interest. Using efficient extraction methods can improve the use of natural products with high levels of this bioactive compound in Parkinson's disease. Liquid-solid extraction, microwave-assisted extraction, and ultrasound-assisted extraction techniques are the most widely used, although the different procedures proposed still show some contradictions concerning extracting solutions, time and temperature values. Extraction efficiency typically increases by applying more acidic extraction conditions. Chromatographic separations based on a single separation step can show limited selectivity in complex matrices. In the future, the application of multidimensional techniques could considerably reduce the matrix effects and thus significantly improve the analytical performance. Levodopa, L-Dopa, is considered the gold standard and most effective medication for treating the motor symptoms of Parkinson's disease, PD. It works by replacing the diminished levels of dopamine in the brain, thereby alleviating symptoms such as tremors, stiffness, and slowness of movement. Therefore, its synthesis and extraction processes are very important for treating Parkinson's disease.